that was a worthwhile stop at the lake. Got chatting to a really nice guy actually who had a Bulith in the past. Really admired the Royal Enfield actually, and this is something that you actually get with this bike. People come up and compliment you on it or talk to you about it, and he was talking about all of the extras. He's looked at them, he's following them, he's considering buying a Meteor. So yeah, really nice actually. I'm glad I stopped. Done a little loop of the lake, and now we're going to push on. So for those of you who are just joining me, we're on a trip to Wales on the Meteor today, and I've just come through the town of Leominster Wells. This is an interesting town. It's quite nice buildings, the red brick 3 or 4 story houses here, most of which have been turned into hotels, but nevertheless it's quite a nice little place. It's the first time I've taken the Meteor into mid Wales, so you follow a road called the A44, and I pick it up from Worcester actually, and go over to Leominster, and then keep following the signs to Rhayader, and then you go through a little town called Crossgates after you enter Wales itself. And Crossgates is on a crossroad, hence the name, and you can go straight on to the Elan Valley, which is really nice, or you can go I think it's right, and that'll take you up to more into mid Wales and towards Aberystwyth. And then if you go left like I've done, it takes you to here, which is Leominster Wells, and then I'm going to keep going down to Bulith Wells. So yeah, really enjoying it today. I just thought the bike needed to stretch its legs really. I've been on many short rides, but I thought I'd come out and give the bike a really good spin. See what it's like for touring, see what it's like on longer distance rides. So I've been out a couple of hours now, and I'm still going outwards, you know, I haven't turned around and come on my way back. Hopefully you guys are going to have a lot better audio today, because I've removed the windscreen. We haven't got that buffeting noise, which was pretty painful for me and pretty annoying for you guys on the audio. So we've just got yeah, we've got no screen anymore. If you want to follow the history of the windscreens on this bike, then go and look up, because I've done a video on that, trying to improve it, improve the airflow. So the weather today, well, it's a little bit grey and overcast. I was hoping it would brighten up a little bit. It was brighter earlier, but it's not raining, so that's something to be said for. Shall I filter my way up? Just get around this traffic? Can't yet. Zip up. Oh, that worked like a treat. There's nothing worse than being stuck behind a queue of slow moving traffic. And I'm not even on a fast bike, so it's not as if I'm itching to go around. It just kind of spoils the view ahead of you. And also if people are slowing down, speeding up, then it becomes quite irritating. So I was talking earlier about the speed of the Meteor, and I'm making good progress. You know, 50 miles an hour is really, I think, where this bike performs best. So 50 or 50, perhaps you could ease up to 55 if you wanted, but 60, 65, I think you're straining it a little bit, personally. I know it'll do 70. Take it easy around this corner. It's a nice bike because you're just going to cruise pretty much most of the time within the national speed limit. Oh, I need fuel. Well, not often you experience that on a Meteor, but I will fill up when I get to Bulith Wells. So I've been riding for 200 miles, so I've been riding for 2 hours actually, so it does add up. I think it's a 13 litre tank thereabout on this bike. There's the motorbiker's friend, the Mid Wales Police in a Mark 5 series. Had a nice chat with some police officers at the Manchester motorcycle show, and we talked about bike safe, which is a course I'm going to look to pursue. I'm going to put myself onto it, and we'll probably bring some of that content to the channel. Looks like something I could do to improve my motorcycling skills, so definitely worth doing. Now this is something weird about the Meteor, which I've just noticed. You see how you're on the fuel light's on, you're on 1 bar and it's flashing, and then all of a sudden it goes back to 2 bars. I noticed that on the machine I test drove, but I thought it was a one-off for that bike. It's a little bit frustrating because you don't know now whether you're actually on 2 bars, so 2/5 or 2/6 or 1/3 of a tank, whatever it ends up being. I don't know if there's 5 or 6 bars total, or you're on the red, which obviously means quite a big difference. I think we're going to have to just fill up anyway at the next stop. Nice little section of road here. And this is where the Meteor excels. For me, this is kind of enthusiastic riding for the Meteor. You sort of lean into the corners a little bit, enjoy it. The bike does feel like it's got a little bit more pep now. Maybe I've removed the screen. Is that true, or is that just something that I'm kind of imagining? I think that Givy screen was so big, it was acting as a little bit of a windbreak, and perhaps slowing the bike down a little bit. I also can hear the engine note a little bit louder. I mean, I'm not sure how that comes about. Perhaps the buffeting was so loud that it was distracting me from the wonderful sound of the single cylinder. But the bike does feel a little bit more peppy. Also consider that because we're coming up to 700 miles or so, which I can just view on this, 676 miles. So the engine's going to free up a little bit as you get to 1200-ish miles. That's what people say, 1000 miles plus, and it's a little bit more free. See, the fuel light's gone back on. Oh, no bull, just beer and bikes. 2nd August bank holiday. A 10% gradient. Now they've put an arrow on the downslope because people obviously don't understand whether they're going up or downhill. Will there be a fuel station? Oh my gosh, it's gone back now to 2 bars. Crazy, huh? I'm beginning to think that might be an engineered thing. That the fuel light comes on, tell you you're getting low, and then it says it defaults to trip F, which I don't know if you can see there on the camera, and then it starts a new odometer counting up how many miles you've done since the fuel light came on. So maybe it's indicating you're on reserve or something like that. I'll have to look that up. A470, famous road in Wales. My favourite is the A44 going across, but obviously this is another famous road as well. So we're going to go to Bulith Wells today. But before that, we're going to fill up with fuel. So I think I'm getting told off. Oh, we've got a choice of 2. And are they the same price? Fuel, no, slightly cheaper in co-op. Shoulder check. Let's go and ask them if they're... Are you closed for fuel?
We had a spillage this morning, so we've had to turn the pumps off.
Okay, alright. Well, lots a bit of luck that we've got fuel over the road, isn't it? One of the roads had a fuel spill this morning.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because we were just I said it was obviously above the ground because all the sand was everywhere.
Oh,
they're
okay.
looking underneath.
Yeah.
But it's all, like on the forecourt, the fire engine and everything was clearing it away. So, I don't know what actually happened. I don't know.
More customers for you.
Yeah. Please don't busy.
Thank you.
Oh,
Right, we're now entering onto the A470. Should be a little bit of fun. And the full tank of fuel. And the world is my oyster. The Meteor is my steed. This bike is going to need a big deep clean when we get back home. I've ordered some muck off motorcycle cleaner, so wow, he's a big lad. So I'll give the bike a total, you know, clean down. I didn't clean it last time I went out because I knew I was going to go out again in the next couple of days. I don't really want to leave it sitting with grime and dirt on it. I'd probably say that this road is a little bit too fast for the Meteor. You're kind of wanting a little bit more. But then again, it is a single lane carriageway, so you know, we're not really needing to go any faster than 60 miles an hour. Oh, we've got to slow right down now to 30. Police speed check area. Oh, I don't want to get caught by Mid Wales police. See if we can just zip up around these guys now. Six or seven guys there just having a laugh and chatting, and one guy working on the electrics. It's funny, isn't it? Impressive church. Oh no, I can feel the first drizzles of rain. I've got rain, I've got my gloves running out of battery. Both of those combined are not ideal. So let's get to Rhayader and then we'll turn and burn. Only 6 miles to Rhayader, so that's good. And you can see why this road is so loved by bikers, can't you? You're just meandering around gently sweeping bends like this. And there's not that much traffic at this time of year. Oh. Slam on the rear brake. Wow, here we go, getting some nice scenery up here. Right, I don't expect traffic lights around here. Are they there? Not today. Right, my one glide is now dead, so that hand's going to start to cool down, and then this one is flashing, it's low, about to die. So definitely time to turn around and get back to the warmth. So I'm about 2 hours out of the way now, so it's a long slog back. And this is where, of course, heated grips on the bike would come in handy. Might be something I'll look into. They are actually quite inexpensive. Wow, look at this. This is the A470, anybody who's interested. Take a trip to Wales and plan this on your route. Wow, look at that. Here we are, ladies and gents, we're arriving at Rhayader, so I'll just bleed off some speed. Right, and this is where my route takes me back home, so I'm going to take the A44 back to Leominster. So let's set the indicator on, drop down through the gears, and now you'll be able to see Elan Valley, 3 miles if I go that way. It's almost worth going to, isn't it? But as you hear, I don't think I will today, I've been there before. I'm going to head back to Leominster. It's beginning to rain, which is a real pain. Come on. Just hold off a bit longer so I can get a little bit closer to home. Well, at least she's doing the speed limit. Could be worse, she could be speeding in the 30 and then going slow in the national speed limit area. Okay, so both gloves are now out of battery, which is going to be a little bit of a pain on the way back. Hopefully if we just trundle along, it's not going to be too cold. And this is where the Meteor is best placed anyway, at 50 miles an hour. 80 kph for those of you that use kilometres. We've done a nice loop today out to Leominster, and then rather than going straight to Rhayader and just back on the same road, we've gone down to Leominster, Wells, Bulith Wells, and then take the A470 up to Rhayader. Now we're going to log back on the A44. You'll see another long straight as we come round this bend up here, round the corner, and then there's a long straight with a crest of a hill at the end. So I mean, look at this, you can really fly along here, and I'm sure this guy's going to try and overtake me in his Welsh water pickup truck. Yeah, you definitely can't overtake here over this brow of a hill. Oh, because that could be coming the other way. Roll down, picking up speed at 65 on the Meteor. It's pretty fast for this little bike. Long straight all the way along here. When I get back, I'll give this bike a clean, a detail, as best as I can detail. I'm not huge into cleaning and polishing on motorcycles. I obviously like the look of a clean bike, I just don't have the patience. Hi mate.
How are you finding the Meteor?
Oh, really good actually. Yeah.
At least on the Himalayan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why'd you get rid of the Himalayan?
Because I'm a crap. I keep fucking swapping bikes a lot.
Is it? I looked at the Himalayan and then I just saw this and instantly just wanted it really.
Really nice bikes.
Yeah.
That wasn't out when I had my Himalayan. They never had that one.
I ordered this in March last year, but it took until November to come. But yeah, I had another guy talk to me about it. He was thinking about getting one earlier today. They're really nice. This is the Supernova, which originally comes with a screen and everything, but then you also get the red and yellow one. You might have seen that. That's the Fireball edition. But yeah, it's nice.
Good bikes, isn't they?
Yeah, but £4 or whatever they cost, you can't really go wrong.
You can't.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Do you go anywhere on your Himalayan, or do you just ride it about here?
I used to go up to the dams and mess about round there.
Yeah.
There's a trail round there I used to go on.
Yeah, yeah. Great fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. But I don't keep bikes for long, I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'd buy them, have them a year or two, and bloody sell them on.
But I've added this as well, the engine guard, and then there's a sump guard.
Yeah.
Just to make it look a little bit, you know, stand out a bit more.
Bloody hell.
What's this then?
Just a Vespa 300. It's nice to get around on.
Yeah.
I like scooters as well.
Yeah.
No, I really like the Royal Enfields. Later on, I'm looking at the, what's the twin?
The Interceptor.
Nothing wrong with air cooled.
Yeah.
You know, we've only had radiators on bikes for the last like
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
years. I mean, you never needed them before.
Right, good to see you anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, like it.
I've got that jacket at home as well. I just need to start wearing it. Christmas present. I haven't even worn it yet. But yeah.
My winter jacket's lovely.
Have a good day. That was a nice conversation. Second one I've had today. It almost makes it worth it going out, doesn't it, to speak to all these lovely people. This little bit of road up here, with the Policia on, is actually a national speed limit, so 60 miles an hour, but you see lots of sheep running all over the road sometimes, and you know, there's one up there. And in springtime you see lots of small sheep running all over the road as well, so you have to be a little bit careful. Don't want to cause any injuries to our four-legged friends. Try and slow down a little bit as well, just so it doesn't scare them. Not so much on the Meteor because it doesn't sound that loud, but on other bikes, got to be a bit careful we don't scare wildlife. having not had the screen now, I'm getting used to the pressure on the body from the wind, and kind of used to it now, and it's a fair trade-off for not having the buffeting and flapping around the helmet, which was getting a bit irritating. And someone's lost a bale of hay there. Not often you see those on the verge. It makes you think, doesn't it, when you're following one of these tractors towing bales of hay that are stacked 3 bales high. You should stay well back. This is where it struggles. When you're in 5th gear and you're pulling up a hill, you'll actually throttle wide open and it'll bog down a little bit. One of the unfortunate things, but you can ride around that. You know, you can just scrub off some speed. I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? Oh, I like this bit. Super enjoyable. I'm going to drop down to go up this hill. And we're now entering this section of road that I used to come up to all the time to practice my cornering. Yeah, it's a section of turns that is really enjoyable to throw a bike around on, but on a cruiser I'm just going to take it a little bit more easy. So you can see here how sharp the bends are. Just take it nice and easy all the way around. Watch that exhaust. Pull away out the other side. Get ready for the next one. Set yourself up for the turn. Around we go. Again, I don't want to be too risque. I don't have the grip that I've got on my other bike, and the road surface isn't exactly dry and clean. And as we're going round to the right, drop down. A little bit careful of the not the interceptor. Oh, someone's come off there. Straight through the hedge. A little bit careful of the exhaust when you're going around to the right, but it's a nice sweeping turn to the left. It's great fun on a bike. Yeah, and I'm going to use 3rd gear just to accelerate out. I'm going to short shift right up to 5th though. I don't really want to be holding the bike in gears at higher revs when I don't need to. We'll avoid the mud, which I didn't quite manage to miss it all. So I'm considering my touring options for this bike in spring, so not far away. I need to get a few little bits. I'd probably get some phone holder so I can use the sat nav. We've also got USB charger on this bike. Oh, let's just slow right down. I need also panniers of some description. I'm still unsure which ones to get. Obviously the Royal Enfield off the right hand side only, because on the left hand side you've got the Sari guard on the bike that's released to the Indian market. At least it's compulsory fitment, mandatory fitment. So I've also got the option of sort of leather or leather look, soft retro looking panniers, and then you've got the more modern looking clamshell design panniers, and that could be an option for me as well. But I want to do this kind of riding in the warm, really, on long distance. The bike's comfortable enough, it's good on fuel. Could do a little bit more power perhaps, but I'm still going to enjoy it. It's still going to be a great touring bike. Let's just drop down for this bend, set ourselves up, and round we go. Yeah, just sweeping round. Yeah, now you've got a chance to accelerate out a little bit. What? Potatoes just dumped there on the side of the road. Fancy a jacket fatigue, I'll just go and get one. Yeah, at that speed I think we're kind of stressing the Meteor a little bit too much. I'm going to ease back a little bit to 55. Need to adjust the heel toe. I have to push down a little bit too far with my heel. I want to put that slightly higher up towards me. And look at this road surface here, like mud and grime and everything like that. And you've got a bend where the road is sloping away from you, adverse camber, and it's going downhill. I mean, so easy to do something silly on that bend there. Got like a streak of muddy clay in the middle of the road as well. Oh, look out, here we are, entering England. So the Welsh Odyssey comes to an end.